door, so to speak. Yet you are in expectation, but you're definitely not one that's just believing and doing nothing about it. We already know that the word tells us that we have to have faith. And also it says in his word that without I'm sorry, not having faith without works is dead. That's what I'm trying to say. Blessings to each and every last one of y'all. I'm gonna come on here quickly because I find, excuse me, that so much time is wasted out the day on things that really don't matter. Blessings to you. How you doing, Miss Stu? I see you, I hear you on Facebook when you send me those encouraging words, and thank you so much for that. I want you to know that they don't go unnoticed. It's just oftentimes I'm like really moving around, and I don't even get to like pick the phone up too often, but to do what I have to do. How you doing? How you doing, daughter? Woman, daughters of the Most High on here today. Hopefully, some of the sons will come on here also. Let me just say hello to everybody again, or how are you, I should say. And that's a real question. Like, how are you? How is everyone? Okay. I wanted to come on here very quickly, and I don't want to belabor. And what I was saying is that on the weekends, and I don't know, some of you may have the weekends off, some are retired, some of you have other days off. I don't know what they are, but nevertheless, when we have time, we should really purpose it in our hearts to do those things that are pleasing to the Most High. And so I find that I'll talk about me, spend too much time on things that don't, that it's not that they don't matter. It's just that they shouldn't take priority, like doing a multitude of things for other people. And then you find that you're depleted and spent. And then when you finally say, okay, I have to step back, or I'm tired, or I need to take this little break, a sabbatical, they are not that forgiving. And they can even make you feel guilty, and it's a form of manipulation. Like, well, I don't know why you can't do it. And it's like we have to get to the place that when individuals make us feel like we are obligated to do something for them, the only person that you're obligated to do something for really is the Most High. And we are obligated to love others, but we're not obligated to like spend ourselves trying to please others, trying to fix meals, 3 square meals a day, cleaning house, trying to keep up with our parents, trying to keep up with, just doing a multitude, a barrage of things, then have to turn around and give that same energy to a job. And it's like, now you're trying to fit in scripture reading and Bible verses here and there. And then you find that that is something that's on the back end. And see, when you really need to draw from that well, you barely put anything in. It's like really nothing to draw from, or the instrument that you're drawing from has holes in it. And that's why it's so hard to keep up with faith, because we haven't done enough to make sure that we are solid, so then when we go in and draw from that well, from that water, that we're able to have what we need. See, when you have what you need, then you can give to others. But if you're constantly trying to give to people with all these holes in your own bucket or in your vessel, that's a problem, because even a little that you have is leaking out to somebody else. And then that's why we feel so empty and spent at the end of it. Nothing. We're giving in ministry, we're giving to family, we're giving to work, you know. And then if you have anything else, how you doing? How you doing, Miss Chosen? And if we have any other obligations, then those as well. On here today, I'll just give you quickly what the Most High said. I was coming in to pray, and then all of a sudden, it's what coming on today. But what we need, what he was telling me is that, um, the thing is that we know we all to do. And I titled this message, like you know. And so if you can just let me back up for 1 minute and say that there are things that you know you're supposed to do this morning. Hours on Facebook or Instagram or whatever your vice is, trying to give our mind an escape. It's almost like a drug. If I could laugh, if I could read somebody's article and be motivated and encouraged, and I find myself doing this, and it's nothing wrong with me, but we have to watch it, this is we're getting information from. This is where we're getting our peace from or our joy. See, those things are short lived. And so then you find yourself now that you received a momentary piece of joy or laughter based off of like something that you saw or you read or you heard. Then what happens? That high comes down, and then you got to go right back and fill up again. And then you'll find that people are on there for hours, even if it's like something that's just a totally ungodly, pornography or dirty literature stuff that they read. Well, you'll hear people say, "Well, I don't have a man, I don't have a woman, so I have to pray and ask the Father, please wake up." You remember in the Songs of Solomon it says, and you don't really you don't have it like that. So that's me talking slang. But what it really says is that, it's no need in you kissing frogs. If he ain't the prince, you don't need to be kissing frogs. You don't need to open your door and let in nobody that's typically a stranger because he's not there to stay or she. So you don't introduce yourself. You don't open yourself up to that before it's time. We don't look at things through the media. We don't do any of that because then you'll find that you have an appetite for something that you cannot necessarily feel in the right way. And so I know for a fact that that the Most High can keep you if you want to be. And you know how they say, oh, if you want to be kept, like it's real cliche-ish, but I want you to know I lived it. It's got to be a prayer. I don't know who that's for because that's not in the way. Excuse me. That's not the way I was going. If you want to be kept, you can be. It's a prayer. I had to go and say, I don't want to be this way with anybody. I don't want to have that feeling. I don't let that lay sleep until it's time to awaken. And sometimes now I even have to pray, can you please wake it up now? Because, when you get to the place now you finally married or whatever, and you don't even care if that happens or not. That's an issue. So he can keep you. And so I believe in Abraham. And I didn't read anywhere that she had an immaculate conception like Mary. So apparently the two of them came together and worked it out some kind of way, and the Father blessed that union. Well, on this, I call it, and I want you to think about like when you think about the people that stay in your household, whether it be your husband, spouse, your children, I don't know who all stay with you, and they've been with you. Okay, they've been with you from the beginning, or either they've been with you for a long time. And think about it. It's like they know how stuff operate. They know. They've been in the house. The routines are pretty much everybody got routine. You might not be one that do everything like consistently from the top of the day, from 8 o'clock all the way down to 9, the same. But for the most part, there are a few things that happen throughout the day that everybody know that this is what is to be done. And so that's what the Father was telling me. So when I was coming in my prayer closet, he said, you should know. And I was like, what you mean? See, he was saying that this generation is always looking for signs because they really don't know, because they haven't really been with him like that. And see, now that they are facing some changes in the way that they were doing things, they confused. So they're like, okay, show me a sign if you getting ready to do this. And show me a sign if that's getting ready to happen. Father's like, but I got sons and daughters that have been with me. My house is the place of prayer. My presence is with them. Their temple is the church. So they understand what it is or my expectations are. They know. And so I got to thinking about my own house. Now, wait a minute. You know that you don't sit here and eat on these couches in the living room because you're going to put some stains on the fabric or what have you. And you don't have no money to clean nothing. So don't be up in here eating. They know. They know that at a certain time, you get your lazy self up or you're behind and you plug up them lights. So there's lights around the house. Ain't nobody trying to live in a house that look like it's abandoned. They know. They know that if they do something, they supposed to clean up after themselves. They know that they're supposed to wash dishes. They know that they're supposed to clean their restaurant. I don't know what those things are in your household. Everybody have them. We know. And so that's what the Father said to me a few minutes ago. He says, my people, they'll call by my name, my people. And then he said, wait, my people know my voice. No other voice would they follow. These are mine. The Father knows that you're here, that He'll hear your prayer and He'll answer. His people should know that even if it didn't happen right away, that the Most High is still going to answer it. Our Father is going to answer it. His people know that they're going to eat during famine because He's always fed you. His people know that they're going to be protected because He's always protected you. Some of you have had bouts with cancer and other debilitating illnesses, and He brought you through. So you think a cold or some other virus is getting ready to be something greater when the Bible, the Father has already told you in His Word that every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess? The Father says, like, why would He ever tell us not to do something, to leave us out there trying to get up a stream or up a river without a paddle or without a boat? He said, if I call Peter to come out on water, walk up out of a boat and walk on top of water, you don't think I can't do that for you? I can't put, you think I can't perform the impossible? See, it looked impossible for you because you're operating on a human level, but it was never impossible for Jesus because He was already walking across the water. Because remember, they looked out and said, is that a ghost? And they became afraid. There was one that dared to look past fear and say, wait a minute, is that Jesus? Is that Yeshua? Yeshua was like, come, step out the boat. And there was a young man, he wasn't no young man, he was an older man with a whole family. He was rapping on at the last gathering. Excuse me. Today is the gathering, those that are doing Sabbath. So I say Shabbat Shalom to you. And I'm trying to learn the Sabbath because we've been so conditioned to just do whatever on Saturday. It's like everything was on Saturdays. The parties. Had y'all noticed everything was on Saturday? The good television shows, the partying, the hanging out, eating dinner, shopping, everything. The gatherings, the picnics, everything was on Saturday, on the Sabbath. That's kind of suspect, isn't it? And then on Sunday, nothing, the bank not open, nothing. You think this world is going to really celebrate the true Sabbath? Just saying. Hey, sister, Johanna, I hope you made it back safe. Beautiful pictures, and I'm glad you all enjoyed yourself. Everybody need that break. Hallelujah. Um, I don't know if everybody is hearing me okay. Can you put a one? Anyone? Just let me know that you can hear me. It's awfully quiet. Mhm. Somebody put a one in the comment. Let me know you can hear me. Or zero. Okay. Bless you. And I'm so glad. Mhm. All right. I'm assuming that somebody heard me because Johanna responded. So everybody else, y'all sleep or gone or what is it? I don't know. if it's just that people are listening attentively, or I don't know. This is like the hour for sleeping. All right, I'll move on. Praise Yah. So, when the man was rapping, and you look at him, you would think, what is this man getting ready to do? That just goes to show you that the Father is using the people that most people counted out. We thought that the that folks that rapped looked like rappers, whatever that meant, or people who sang look like singers or psalmist. Isn't it something that when the Father uses somebody you never would expect or suspect that he could, you that never even crossed your mind. Like people would look at you now and wouldn't even think that the Father would do what He's done in your life. Some of y'all have some things the Father has blessed you with that others envy. You thinking you can't, come on, get up off of this. You thinking you believe that, you know, you can't understand why these people don't like you, or why this girl always turn her nose up at you, or why this dude don't never speak, or why these people always have it, because they can see what maybe you have grown accustomed to. They can see. She just blessed. Maybe I should say she has the shalom, the grace. How? Wait, why she looks so young? And I think she graduated with me. Why still have some, she still look good? Why she ain't fat? Or it don't matter. Like I said, if a person is heavy, we ain't talking about somebody just obese, okay? How she get that spouse, or how she get that family, or how did she get that job, or why is her hair that color, or why does she still have hair? Why does she still have teeth? You got to understand. The hand of the Father is upon your life. And He's so gracious and so merciful, even when you feel like you messed up. He is there to restore, slow to anger. It's what He asks us to do the same. Hold down. Take a look at what He's done, what He does, what He continues to do. Thought about that man rapping and older guy with a family, and I'm thinking, what is this man getting ready to do? They played a really nice track, and when that man got up and began to rap, I don't even listen to rap music anymore. It's just garbage now. But he was rapping the kingdom. I was thoroughly impressed. And his hook to the lyric was, bid me to come. He kept saying, bid me to come. And I felt that. It's not even about the rap, it was the lyrics. I'm like this, bid me to come. I want to walk on water. But see, it's going to take some amazing faith. You cannot walk on water coming around here with more fear than anything. Fear cripples. Fear causes you to be immovable, not in a good way. You will not move if you're afraid. You won't. People say the building is on fire. Jump. We're going to catch you. There are some people that would die in the fire. It's not the Holy Spirit fire. They're afraid to jump. So they'll stay in the burning building. It's going to be like that when it's time to go. And it goes back to the word first. You know, the Father says, you've been with me all this time. You've been with me. Why are you still second guessing? Why are you going off into logic? Why are you listening to man? Why are you swayed by the public's opinions? Why? Oh, most high bid me to come. I think I'm just gonna be saying that everywhere. Everywhere. I love that. Look, you want to do great things for the Most High, you are going to have to be like, I'm coming. Because the bottom line is, he said, you've been with me. You don't need no osmosis, no combustion or no type of huge event to happen before you do what he tell you to do. I'll give you some examples. He said he don't need to tell you to lose weight for you to know you need to. He don't need to tell you to exercise before you know you need to. He don't need to tell you to put down the swine and all of that shrimp and all the seafood. I know you thought you could eat it. It's certain. Yeah. Boy, he made everything good, but you full of disease. So come again. I'm just gonna share with you. Why do you feel that you don't know what you need to do? As his children, he said, you know what you need to do. You know that you don't. I heard him say also, because you know. He said, some of you, he told you to move. You've been knowing. You know, you ain't got to wait until stuff fall apart before you move. You know. He said, I am with you always through the end, from the beginning to the end. I never leave you. You know, you've been walking every day. You know what you need to do. Well, I'm going to wait until he say, you've been living together forever. And the father's like, well, ain't nobody got to tell you to get married. Well, now I'm gonna wait and see. We're gonna live together first. All right, you playing. Father says, don't you lay around in the house today and don't do what he tell you to do. Don't you sit and not get up and do something today. Don't do it. Don't buy the kids another happy meal and you not cook. Don't hold back being pleasant to your spouse when you know you should be. Don't put off going to see your mom in another state. It's time. Well, things so bad. What they got to do with you? They been bad. You're. How you doing, sir? Thank you for subscribing, Eric. Bless you. Things been bad. They were always rough. It's just that they gave us a false sense of security because they wasn't showing us everything in plain view. It was just going on behind the scene. He told you to get up and do. He don't have to say it. It's like a parent. When our kids live in households and they've been with us, they know. Nah, you don't have to repeat that to them day in and day out because now it's rebellious. I keep telling you, you know the fast. Well, I'm going to wait and I'm going to pray to the Lord, tell me to fast. That sounds so silly. It's in his word. What he got to tell you for again? I'm going to be led first. It's not the truth. It's not. The Father wants to give so much to all of us, but it's our faith that we need to acquire it. And if you don't have the faith for it, you need to pray and ask because that's what's really keeping and holding us back out of the country and had a good time. I didn't see that she was, handcuffed and bound and thrown in nobody's dungeon. See, all that stuff is on the media if more people can be afraid, then that's less people to try to control because you have stuff. You and see, if I can get you to move the way I want you to move, I ain't got to I have invisible sanctions around you that you following the protocol all by yourself because I put the stuff out here for you to see. and you have taken a mental picture has become your Bible, and you have overrode the Bible of the Most High, the Father, Abba. So just think of how much time you've wasted, and you haven't moved. You haven't moved. Days have gone by, rather moments, minutes, seconds, hours, days, months. I still ain't seen my mother and them. I'm waiting to this stuff let up. It's not letting up. You pray. Oh, the Most High said, I will not forsake you. Try to touch you. I become the sword. I am the sword. Nobody will touch what's mine. If he told you to do something, he will finance it. Bid me to come. I want to walk on water. I am determined to do some things. And I'm not going to share them now because I realize that it's as hard as I'm trying because they are witches. And it's not that they have any power. It's just that what you don't know, the Bible says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. But now that the Most High has revealed, now I know how to go. Some of this stuff is true. We move in silence. We move in silence. However, let me tell you what I'm really saying. You move with your mouth closed, but you be bold as walking in the light. We ain't sneaking around nothing. You understand? Ooh, I felt that one. I'm gonna say it again. We walk silent, like we don't talk about it, but we bold as walking in the daylight. Let them see it. Ain't no problem with that. Every devil see it, but they ain't gotta know. Keep your mouth closed on that part. I'm here. I want to speak to some ladies. The Father wants to bless you with spouses in this season, but you will not win him with flesh. I hope you heard that. You will not win him with flesh. Can I say it again? You will not win him with flesh because every matter of fact, they see more than enough. Y'all heard about supply and demand? When it's just too much of something, the desire to have it dwindles. It's like it's laying around. What would diamonds be if they just laid all over the ground like rocks? They would lose their value. But then if a rock was hidden and you had to dig for it, somehow the rock would become more valuable because it's not something that you find. So that goes to tell you, you ain't got to be nothing fancy. Just do what's right. And the Most High will make you beautiful to somebody if you trust them. Now you continue to be disobedient, you're going to be married to the streets. I hate to say it. Everybody can look at you, and that's what they'll do. Look at all your breasts and all of your stuff hanging out. I cannot stress it enough. And some of these people that say they got these relationships and stuff, and they've been hanging all out and all of that, I ain't seen nobody marry you. I mean, I'm just saying, anybody could say they gonna do until you got a date and it's gonna happen, then talk to me about it. And I understand. You may say, well, that one there is half naked and she married somebody. Yeah, somebody that married her had low self-esteem. Because I don't know what man would want his wife with all her goods hanging out every day unless he need people to see her as a trophy. But I'd wonder, does he even see her as a wife? Because he's definitely not treating her. He's not allowing her to even be one. And you may say, well, she wearing what she want to wear, then she's rebellious. I'm sorry. And I don't know who want to be married to somebody that just do what they want to do. That's a feminist attitude. So I don't know what that is. But when a man love you, he don't want you just hanging all out unless y'all on vacation, y'all doing something private, y'all intimate, y'all out. But for you to be out there by yourself like that, that's not even love. You got all your stuff exposed. I'm gonna leave that there. Moving on. And men, you trying to get somebody, if you gotta buy her with money, you've already lost the game. It's already lost. You shouldn't have to flash your little dollars. Because if that's all she on, you're gonna have to keep flashing money. And the day that the money can't be flashed, She gonna go someplace else. You can't buy love, but you can buy lust. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. And married people, I have some examples of some rocks on here that stood in the face of adversity and smiled. And their husband, family is intact because they didn't move off of what the Most High told them. Abba told them that he was going to heal that marriage, and he did it. And so I know what the Most High, the Father, is capable of. If you're a fighter in the spirit realm, you can do some immeasurable things. Now, if he told you to go, that's something different. I ain't talking about that. All right. I'm leaving with this. You know the things you have to do today. So if you sit every Saturday, every weekend, after night, night after night, on social media, wasting time on the phone, going from scope to scope to scope to scope, broadcast to broadcast to broadcast. Father says, you know when to come off, you know what you're supposed to be doing. Nobody got to tell you. A husband knows that he needs to buy his wife flowers from time to time. He knows he needs to tell you that he loves you from time to time, if not often. A wife knows she needs to get up and cook and look nice and presentable. Children know they do. People decide to be out of order. It causes a disruption of and the entire thread of the fabric. Threads are supposed to, blend together so that they cover. It's a whole blanket. Everybody's covered. That one, them fibers out of place, there's a gaping hole, and that doesn't work. So when we know better, we should do. When we know what we need to do, we do it. Nobody should have to tell you, and it's an insult when we do, especially if we have to say it more than once. And that's the position I believe that the most that we just do what we want when we want, and we make excuses. And somebody else is waiting on our obedience because we're all connected because we're the body. So my balance out, everything should be in harmony. And if there's something that has happened that is out of your, um, I'll say that you cannot change it on your own right away. That's when prayer comes in, and the Father will make the crooked places straight. He will take care of what you need, and he will help you. And that's just the way that goes. God bless everybody and have a prosperous day. Don't forget the things obedience more importantly than anything the most high is. God bless you. Shabbat shalom, grace, mercy, and peace. Be well. Thank you. We bless y'all. Thanks, Eric, for your subscription. And I pray that the Most High would bless you for coming on. Thanks. Bye bye. God bless. Bye, y'all.